Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're talking about the newest film on Amazon Prime, Borat Subsequent Moviefilm. Before we begin, let me know in the comments if you were looking forward to this or what your thoughts were if you've seen it already, and make sure to give this a thumbs up if you like these reviews. It helps me out immensely if you do that. Also, if you're new here and you like movies, whether it be blockbusters, hidden gems, or everything in between, please consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases and some classics. But now, let's jump right into it. Sacha Baron Cohen stars once again as Borat, having been sentenced to hard labor ever since his documentary premiered in 2006 and brought shame to Kazakhstan. However, he's released when he's asked to go to America once more to bestow a gift to the vice president and restore honor to his country. However, upon his arrival, he finds America has changed vastly since his last visit and soon finds his objective also changing. Another Borat movie was the last thing I was expecting in 2020. In fact, it was one of the last things I was expecting altogether. And the reason for that is, as I mentioned in my review of the first film, Borat became a pop culture icon and instantly recognizable everywhere you turned. Because of that, he actually retired the character for a while in 2008. So how does a Borat movie work in 2020? Well, that gets addressed pretty quickly. Early on in the film, we see Borat walking around California and immediately getting recognized by people. And because he's on a top secret mission within the context of the story, he has to don disguises. So most of the film contains Cohen in various costumes, though still using Borat's actual voice. And it works. And once again, we get 90 minutes of Cohen pranking people, ranging from physical gags to goading people into saying and doing some pretty abhorrent stuff. And there are some appearances from some pretty big names that you probably heard by now, but for the sake of providing a spoiler-free review, I won't reveal who they are exactly, but all I'll say is it's as ridiculous as you can imagine. Like the first film, and like Cohen's other prank comedies, he once again shines a light at how deep things like racism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, and so many other forms of prejudice still blatantly exist today. And he makes anyone who he comes across that has these views all look like absolute fools, just as he did in his other projects. Though this time there's a bit of a twist, as this was mostly filmed over the course of the pandemic. There was actually a plan in place to film this from well before that, as I believe a few scenes were filmed late last year and early this year, but Cohen adjusted and incorporated the pandemic into the story, and it ended up working out to his favor, as not only does it give this a sense of timeliness, but it just gave him plenty more fun gags to play around with. Last time Borat was joined by a producer named Azamat, who isn't present this time around. Instead, he's joined by his daughter Tutar, who's played by Maria Bakalova, and what ends up happening is Borat goes from originally giving a gift of a pet monkey to giving her as a gift, so her role ends up being much bigger than Azamat's was in the first film, and she acts more as Borat's partner, not only joining him in the majority of the film's pranks, but even branching off on her own at one point to prank people separately. And Bakalova is perfect for this. While these prank comedies have been Cohen's bread and butter, she has a lot of great comedic timing herself, and is absolutely hilarious in her own adventures. I won't spoil any of the pranks here, but I do want to say this. I appreciate the new dynamic as it keeps things fresh and not a total rehash of the first movie. However, my one criticism is, since this revolves around Borat giving Tutar as a gift, they kinda hit some of the same jokes surrounding that setup one too many times. I wouldn't call this movie repetitive in general, it's still very funny and I highly recommend checking it out, but they kinda stay on some of the same jokes, and I think it would have benefited the film if they changed things up just a bit in some areas instead of lingering on some of the same scenarios. But that aside, it's still a great time. Overall, this is once again a great success. Is it as good as the first film? No, but it's still very funny and an absolute blast. The pranks are hilarious and once again point out some pretty uncomfortable truths, especially this time by tackling current events. It's once again shocking, it's once again offensive, but if you enjoy Cohen's brand of humor, you'll have a great time with this. Borat Subsequent Moviefilm gets an 8 out of 10. So let me know, have you seen Borat Subsequent Moviefilm, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Did you find it funny, and did you like it more or less than the first film? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time.